This is Elite Encounter at Ishwari Engineering College, a series of podcasts where big thoughts fall into small doses. Today, for our debut episode, we have one of the true titans of the human capital world, Mr. Shashikant sir. So he is the Chief Human Resource Officer and Chief of Staff here at Multicore. We are honored to be with you here today, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So before getting into the podcast, a quick introduction about himself. He has about 25 years of experience across the industry, from being recognized as one of the India's top 100 HR leader to mentoring startups, future HR leaders. He is a coach, a community builder, and a strategic powerhouse. Today we'll dive into his journey, his mindset, and what it takes to lead with people at the core. Let's get into it. It's Elite Encounter. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
I have to definitely start with this one question. You are an amazing person, but the one thing that we have in common is a BE degree. So I was wondering, what would you tell your 20-year-old who is currently pursuing his BE EEE in the engineering college? What would you tell him?
Pursue your passion. Identify where you are good at. Engineering is not suited for everybody. It requires a certain thought process, a certain mindset. There are opportunities. As long as your talent is up to it, you can grab it. So if I were to look back and reflect on my journey, I realized somewhere that I'm better off dealing with manpower instead of horsepower. So which is why I said I'll choose a career that helps me manage mindsets than machines. Depending on what is comfortable, choose what works best.
That's amazing. I think that would go well with the current 20 years old in our college. That would also be applicable to them. Moving on to your next question. So most people in the top HR roles usually go with the MBA route. They usually get an MBA and probably go into HR or marketing or sales. But you chose to do a PG diploma in HRM. Likely there's also other HR dedicated things like MA HRM, which is Human Resource Management. So was it a deliberate choice? During that point of time, were you aware that you were actually into it? Or how did you decide to do a very particular course on HR?
See, right in my third year of engineering, I was very clear that I was not cut out for engineering at all as a career. I was just not enjoying what I was studying. I was not imagining myself to be able to participate in an industry which was not probably to my liking or to my strengths. I did have my challenges with my own confidence levels when I went through the life of an engineering student. Thankfully, I was able to discover facets of me that could be put to good use in avenues outside of engineering. So it was a very conscious choice that right after my engineering, I jumped into an HR career. So my career started on a completely different note, in the sense that what is a typical question that you get asked, the first question in an interview?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, the question is, tell me about yourself.
Yes.
The question that I was asked was it was how come engineering to HR, right? So to me, it was an opportunity in cricket parlance to leave the ball or hit it for a six, right? So to me, I very clearly told people that studies are for parents, while a profession is for my own passion. And I jumped into the fray. My first job right after an engineering degree was into HR. I started as a recruiter.
Okay.
So the industry was welcoming. I am thankful to all those mentors and early opportunity givers in my career who were able to identify some spark in me and say that, okay, this guy would cut the grade. Let's place our bets on him. I didn't let them down. I enjoyed every bit of it. And success just came by. Midway into my career, I felt I had to specialize. I had to acquire proper qualification to be able to not just withstand, but not just survive, but also thrive and be a front runner in the community of human resources. So I was not keen on studying anything else but HR, which prompted me to say that, hey, I'll continue to work and I'll pick up a qualification along the way, and that will specifically in razor sharp focus be confined to human resources.
So that was indeed a deliberate choice that you made there.
It was.
Okay, sounds like a very bittersweet journey where you realized that engineering was not for you and then you went up with HR. Okay, that's
Must have been
amazing.
better for people around me, but certainly sweet for me. I can tell you for sure.
Okay, so sir, as we know, you people are in HR, and I'm sure that you guys are preparing we Gen Z to come into your workforce. But I'm sure you're prepared for us. So I got few questions about Gen Alpha. You know, we use a lot of slangs like cap, whiz up, and things like that. So here are a few Gen Alpha to show how, not miserable, how creative they are with their words. So here are a few words. I will tell them and I want you to guess the meaning, what it could possibly mean.
You're... don't judge me if I fail, but I'll try my best.
Absolutely not. You're just going to give it a
I
try.
at least had the option to attempt through arrears in my college. I'm sure I don't have those choices now.
Definitely.
Let me try.
Okay, so what does no cap mean? I'm sure you'll get it. No cap.
No holds barred, no limits.
Kind of close, I guess. It means that someone is definitely telling the truth. No cap means no lie. They're telling the truth.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. It's Gen Alpha, not us, okay? You guys have to see how miserable they are, then we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What does drip mean?
Pass.
That's not in the option. I'll give you some choices. It's either an internet lag or a very super cool outfit, a boring moment, a bad joke.
Drip, is it?
Yeah, drip.
Let me guess.
Okay.
Well, I might appear as thinking, but I'm actually doing an inky pinky ponky in my mind.
Okay.
Is it like a boring joke?
It's not. It might sound like us for us, but it apparently means a super cool outfit. Imagine
okay.
I'm saying, "Oh my goodness, sir, your outfit is super drip." It sounds wrong to me, but it sounds right to the Gen Alpha. The last question is core. C-O-R-E, core.
Core.
So we might think getting placed into a core company, but that's not how it works here.
Well, you're talking about to somebody who believes in a company that does core work. I represent multi-core ware.
Exactly.
And I'm so bonded to this.
Thinking about
I'm not able to think of any other dimension.
But
I will let you educate me on that.
Here's the twist. It means a style.
It means a style, okay.
Yeah, he has such
All
a core, man, which means someone has a good style.
Okay.
So speaking of Gen Alpha and Gen Zs at work, how does a cross-generational workforce work and how do you cope up with that? Like, what should we do from our side and what are you guys doing from your side?
As long as we're able to give each other the space to be able to appreciate each other's thought processes, respect people for what they are without being judgmental, being able to listen without filters, I think there will be respect, collaboration, and cordiality in the room.
True. Speaking of which, I prepared this one mind map for a later part of the interview. So this was showing about how the evolution of leadership was traveling from the 30s till the 20s, like 2020s. So first it was controlling, probably, okay, let's not say any more names here. So controlling, and then it moved on from the leader being directing the people. And then the leader started to coordinate with them. And then they started guiding them. Moving on in the early 2K, it was about empowering. And right now, it's inspiring. So how true do you think this is? And how can this generation people adapt to that? I mean, already existing working people, how did they adapt to the style of
See, in my mind, I wouldn't look at compartmentalizing people as you belong to this category of age group, this category. At the end of the day, we are dealing with something unknown, but we need to acknowledge, and that's the contribution of AI. My next colleague could be a robot.
Sure.
Why aren't we talking about that? Right? So where does generation come there? At the end of the day, if there is something in practice today, how well am I able to adapt to it? If I'm adapting, I'm growing. Right? If I'm learning, I have an opportunity to adapt. If I adapt well, then I grow. When I grow with the times. So I wouldn't look at it as something which is age sensitive or as I said, bucketing people into certain common traits. As long as people are open, I think collaboration and working together should not be a problem. And inspiration can come from anywhere, right? In my organization, there is a hell lot of reverse mentoring that happens. Today, the middle-aged managers in the company, when I say middle-aged, in terms of experience, learn a lot on AI leveraging from the young Turks in the company who are hardly 3 years experienced in the system, right? So to us, I think the content is the king, and whom you learn from doesn't matter as long as the focus is on learning. The focus must be on learning as an attitude, as a culture, and not as learner where ego plays a bigger role than the actual agenda.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
It's honestly amazing to get such reply, because as a student, we might think we get into an actual company, we have to deal with our older bosses. How do we make them understand? But the work environment you're trying to put us is into inspiring, where everyone is down to earth and are willing to learn.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a really amazing workplace. So moving on to the next question. This particular quote, I took it from your LinkedIn post, which says, "Are you a go-getter fueled by energy, a clear communicator, a quick learner, and an agile adapter? Do you believe empathy is a superpower and aspire to shape culture rather than just blend in?" So in this case, I want to emphasize on the empathy. So what kind of role do you think empathy plays on? Like, is that because I get to many conferences and including the inclusive designs and innovation, social work, empathy plays a role in every part. So can you tell about in leadership?
Empathy is a critical part of our culture in my organization. Empathy is one of the fundamentals of our profession called human resources. If I'm not able to put myself in the shoes of the other person, how am I even going to offer a solution? How am I even going to imagine what kind of an issue that the other person is going through, right? So empathy is something that's fundamental when it comes to dealing with people. When you're collaborating, when you're working in a team environment, when you're not an individual contributor, empathy will play a part. Given that we are confining ourselves increasingly to nuclear ways of living, singular ways of working, confining ourselves to our own gadgets, right? When somebody says we are leaving them to their own devices, we literally are leaving them to work with their own gadgets and devices. People need windows to talk to. Mental health is a concern, right? The only way we can keep this a good world for all of us to live together harmoniously, happily, healthily is to be able to make ourselves available for each other, to be able to listen to one another, to be able to see, just checking in, right? Today, one of the biggest challenges that I see in workplaces in this generation is our ability. We have lost the ability to smile, right? We are not able to cheer ourselves while walking into the office, right? A good morning becomes a simple routine. A good morning can be a powerful message to convey your energy to the other person.
Definitely.
That's not happening today, right? At the institutional level, as a student, it is relegated to compliance. You are expected to stand up and say, "Good morning, ma'am," in a certain tone.
In a very rhythmic tone.
Yes. And when you come to the corporate world, you feel liberated. You think that's more of a ritual. What power can a good morning make to 10 people around you? Can you make a positive impact, right? If your energy is infectious, convey it. Let others leverage it. Let others feed on it. And then you are somewhere conveying that, hey, you are a people person. So empathy does play a part. But remember, empathy is all about putting yourself in some other's shoes after removing your shoes. You don't want to get into other person's perspective by carrying your own baggage.
Definitely.
Right? So we could do better. We could do a lot more. Humanity will survive and gloriously live if we care and live for each other. At the workplace, at home, in the society, as humanity.
Yes, so rightly said. I'm sure that there are many people who is not even aware of their neighbor's name. What do they work for? Where are they from? So it's a very busy world. People are always into their mobile phone. We barely check on each other. So guys, it's a kind reminder for you to check on your friends, classmates. Speaking of which, my school friends, I don't even remember the college name they joined in. So we should definitely check on them. So next is a rapid fire round. I want you to use a couple of phrases to answer it. What is your favorite book, sir?
What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith.
Okay, I didn't know that. But okay, next question. I do. Coffee or chai during work?
Neither. I take water.
Really?
Yeah.
But I saw in your LinkedIn post you said we are welcoming people for internship. Maybe we can catch up over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, they drink coffee. I watch them drink.
Okay, good reply. One college memory that still makes you smile.
Forgettable college life. So nothing that I can remember.
Okay.
The whole 4 years that I went through my engineering will bring a smile to a lot of my friends, but then not to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you weren't in HR right now, what would you think that you'll be doing?
I would have happily taken up a career in sales or marketing.
Okay.
If that were to be an option. But I would, knowing me, I would have incorrigibly been in HR come what may. I would have twisted, turned, done a somersault, leapfrogged, jumped, crawled, squatted, ran, did whatever it would have been in my capacity to become an HR professional. Yeah. Call it adamance or call it razor focus on the goal. The world can judge, but I would have tried my best to become an HR professional.
That is beautiful. So even if you weren't being a HR right now, you were still striving to come to this place.
Yes. See, place is temporary, right? Today I am in a position representing a certain organization because one, God has been kind, opportunities have been rewarded. I happen to be in the right place at the right time with the right kind of people. Nothing is permanent. But I would just like to believe that I'm blessed and fortunate to be in a position, in a position where I could make meaningful, positive impact to people around me, to be able to light up the lives of a lot of people, to be able to give career opportunities, act as a catalyst in giving career opportunities. Not that I give opportunities out of my own volition, to be able to see people grow economically, professionally, socially, and that's absolutely happiness personified. I think these things are unmatched, and that's what makes my profession so noble and so aspirational for people like me.
Okay, you sound so like a mentor, which you are, because the staff, the professors, the principal who's working for us, I'm pretty sure the CTC, the company, the placements in our college, students get more package than what they're actually earning. But more than the student, the professor is happy that the student got placed. And that's where you assemble. You say that the people you guide, you want to see them in a better place.
Don't make me a saint. I have a home loan to wipe off. I still have my financial commitments. So it's okay. I could have been a professor. I respect them. But I'm here because there are certain needs that I need to fulfill as a family man. So I leave it there.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
So getting back to the people who mentored you. So now that you're also a mentor to many people, so what were these specific mentors, like, in what stage of your life who helped you to be where you are today?
By and large, with all humility, I would like to state that I'm a self-made man. I can't attribute to one mentor at one point in time. There have been multiple people that I've looked up to. I've taken a bit of this, a bit of that. So I read a book, I could get a moment of inspiration. So the mentor happens to be in the heart, right? The mentor doesn't know that there is a mentee in me sitting in another part of the globe, wanting to ape them or trying to mimic them as from a profession point of view. But having said that, people have allowed me to be the way I am, and that's helped me blossom into what I am today. I would rather attribute that to three key people that have shaped my career journey. One is, it goes back to one Mr. Thomas Augustine, who I had the pleasure of working for him in one of my earliest stints in a company called Bajaj Allianz. I then met another great soul called Madhu Raghunath. In my stint at TVS, I was reporting into Madhu. And well, in this current organization, I have a fantastic CEO, his AGK Karunakar, and we call him AGK. And this man is a leader in the sense there is a bit of HR in him, and that makes my job a little easy. It also makes it tough and exciting because I need to live up to that expectation, but he continues to give me that space to feel inspired and fulfill the people agenda that he has in mind. So having a CEO who understands people, culture, and how talent needs to be at the core of a company's operation is a delight to work with. So I've had about 3 people who have shaped and played some influential roles, impacted me in certain ways, and I kind of put myself, I juxtapose my thought process with them. If my boss were to be in this position, how would he deal with it?
1 second empathy there.
You could. I wouldn't call it empathy. I would probably call it shameless copying of my boss' style and decision-making process. But then these people have had a profound impact in me. Other than that, I would say I look at inspiration from anywhere. I've got a bunch of interns working with me as part of the CHRO's internship program. Trust me, the kind of energy, the kind of thought process that they bring, and they are a bunch of 21, 22-year-olds, right? I'm not again slotting them or typecasting them with age, but with that exposure in the corporate world, you feel talent like them could be limited in the thought process. But the difference, the freshness with which a problem is approached gives me, hey, wow, why didn't I even think of it earlier? So that perspective is something I feed on, I draw my energy from. And I would strongly believe that inspiration, mentorship can come from anywhere. If you look at one of my LinkedIn posts for the CHRO's internship program, the statement of purpose that I ask from my intern is, what can I learn from you? I as the CHRO, what can I learn from you as the intern?
I did see that, and it's amazing how you see the good in every people and how you can get inspiration from everyone. So this might be the last question that I wanted to ask you that I prepared. What do you think the companies look for in a student beyond marks? As you said, the HR is looking into every aspects about their, not just their marks, obviously. So what are the other extracurricular activities or the internship do you think the students should go for?
That's a good question. You're talking of one outcome from this discussion, right? And if I have to give you a takeaway, I would look at marks, truth be told, are only a filter, right? Your recruitment typically comprises of 2 stages. One is eliminating the unwanted and selecting the best out of the rest. You're talking of a 2-stage process, right? Marks by nature filter out much of the crowd because it's humanly challenging to be putting so much resources, effort, time, money, everything into a recruitment process with so many people coming in. You obviously need to do, you can do only what you can, because we are all capacity limited, right, in terms of resources, time. Otherwise, you're going to put some 100 people to interview 1,000 set of students, right? Yes, so you filter out people on the basis of marks, so that becomes a kind of qualifying criteria. The general notion here is somebody who's getting good marks, it is you are reasonably expected to give attention, ownership, priority, seriousness to your academics, and that is the only task that is given to you as a student. And when that is given, how much have you discharged it is evidenced in marks. While I would not judge somebody solely on the basis of marks, by and large, right, especially when you're dealing with mass recruitment, when you're going from campus to campus, recruiting some 100 young engineers from each campus, you want to look at, okay, by and large, am I getting access to the best of talent? Am I spending time assessing talent in detail, right, which is closer to what I want, rather than looking at the crowd en masse. So I see merits in having the system of mark-based filtering. Having said that, what would you look for? You need to be good in your domain that you have chosen, period. Truth be told, right? Interviews are not opportunities where you can say, I will leave that conveniently in a multiple choice question option, right? If you say I like digital signal processing, then you better answer questions in that particular area. If you say control systems is something I like, then you better answer questions in control systems. You can't say I belong to the COVID batch, therefore I left it in choice. I studied only 3 chapters.
So that was a classic answer. You can't take that. You can't take that away from us.
No, I'm saying, but I can't take it from you, but you can't take away the high standards of assessments that we have as well. So if at the end of the day, you need an opportunity, I need good talent.
Yes.
So how do we make this work? The best option for me is to ask questions in an area that you claim to be your favorite or an area of competency for you, where you have good knowledge, you have demonstrated ability to do a good job, right? Through your lab, through your projects. Talking of projects, I would look for ownership, right? Can I take up internship program beyond what my syllabus says? Can I take voluntary internships? Can I give myself more opportunity than others to say, hey, I am interested in this area. I've given my talent some opportunity to blossom in voluntary internships. It's a window to contribute. It's a window to learn more. You know what? At the end of 3 years, when I sit for my placement in the final year, I have a little bit more when compared to the rest of the crowd. So that becomes a second filter that gets me engaged and interested in a candidate's profile. All said and done, at the end of the day, you're talking of the right attitude. Now, what attitude is this? It is not about what you are trained in a pre-placement training program and then sent, right? I know in typical factory fashion, people are trained to give responses which are very canned. I would look for somebody who's very natural. It's okay if you don't have communication skills. As long as you're able to be truthful and you're able to convey your intent, it's fine. And as long as you show me your intent to take ownership of a problem, I have a problem, and how will you deal with it? Somebody says, I will take the responsibility. Tomorrow, if I put you in front of a customer, a client, and there is a problem and you're not able to take ownership, and you say, hey, I'll pass the buck, I'll give it to somebody else, or I don't know, or you get into blame game, which is the worst that could happen, right? I did it correctly, this person didn't do it, this was never given to it. You get into reasoning mode and not result or outcome oriented mode, then there is a problem. So we are talking of marks as a qualifying criteria, then you're talking of your intent, your ability to demonstrate your capability and knowledge in your areas of chosen specialization. And the fact that you can take ownership is what I would look for, and welcome doors to such talent in an organization that I would represent.
Yes, sir. So what do you think about the courses and certifications? Will that also help me stand out from others?
It will to a certain extent. Again, it must not be random courses that you do for the sake of doing it, right? At the end of the day, is it contributing to a certain purpose that you want to build? Hey, this is my talent and I want to give some direction to this talent through this purpose. And if I am progressing towards that purpose, what I study as additional qualifications must aid my movement towards that purpose, right? Forward looking, velocity.
Yeah.
If that's there, helps. Don't do something for the heck of doing it and then claim that you did this. Then you become a paper champion, not a performing champion.
Definitely, completely get that. That was so inspiring to listen to you. So at the end of the day, I was just want to say that you are like a very humble, like this very fundamentally strong, truthful. The things you mentioned were about empathy and being truthful to whatever you do, the passion and the drive that you should have in whatever you do, and the laser sharp focus. Yes, sir. So thank you so much for being in our debut episode. We're really honored to have you here, and thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity. Glad I could showcase some of my thoughts to the world through you. I know this is your debut initiative. All the very best.
Yes.
And Godspeed. Do well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.